ఈవినింగ్ సార్ సీతారాం బాబు సార్.
గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్ సార్. గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్ మేడం.
గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్ ప్రొఫెసర్ రమణ నాయక్ గారు.
రమణ ఎక్కడ వచ్చారు? రమణ నాయక్ గారు గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్ సార్.
గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్ సార్. రమేష్ గారు.
గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్ టు ఆల్ సార్. ఐఎమ్ శశికుమార్.
రమేశ్వరరావు గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్ సార్.
సార్ గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్ సార్. శశికుమార్ సార్.
వెరీ గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్ సార్.
రెడ్డి గారు గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్.
ఐఏ తెలంగాణ స్టేట్ సెంటర్ సార్.
థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్. నైస్ టు సీ యూ. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్ సార్.
వెరీ గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్ సార్. రమా మేడం.
సార్ గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్ సార్. గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్.
వెరీ గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్ సార్.
రమా మేడం సార్, కన్వీనర్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ ఈవెంట్ సార్.
ఓకే గ్రేట్ సార్. థ్యాంక్ యూ మేడం.
బ్రహ్మారెడ్డి గారు గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్. చైర్మన్ సార్.
సార్ గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్ సార్. బ్రహ్మారెడ్డి గారు. సార్ బ్రహ్మారెడ్డి సార్ గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్.
ఆయన నమస్కారం పెడుతున్నాడు సార్. ఆయన
నమస్తే సార్. అది ఆఫ్లో మ్యూట్ లో ఉండింది.
ఓకే సార్.
నేను చెప్తున్నా కానీ అది మరి అక్కడ రామేశ్వరరావు సార్ కూడా వెళ్ళలేదు అనుకుంటా.
అవునా? ఓకే.
ఎంతమంది? 6 మందినా
సార్? నో, 9 మంది ఉన్నారు. 8 మెంబర్స్ ఉన్నారు. వస్తారు సార్. ఇప్పుడే ప్రోగ్రామ్ అయిపోయింది కదా.
అవును, నేను కూడా జాయిన్ అయ్యా, చూసిన కదా. అది బాగుంది, ఆ ప్రోగ్రామ్ చాలా బాగుంది.
అవును సార్. నెట్ జీరో కార్బన్ మీద బాగానే ఉంది సార్ లెక్చర్.
కాకపోతే స్టీల్ కి తాట తీసేసాడు మొత్తం.
సార్ శశికుమార్ గారు చెప్పొచ్చారు, రత్నం గారు చెప్పని చెప్తా. ఆయన రాలేదు ఇంకా.
ఎవరు సార్? శశికుమార్ జాయిన్ అయ్యారు సార్.
ఓకే
కుమార్ గారు జాయిన్ అయ్యారు.
స్టార్టింగ్ మరి జాయిన్ అయితే 6 అయింది కదా.
7 మనం 7.
వెల్లూరు పోస్ట్.
అయితే ఇంకా 5 నిమిషాలు 5 నిమిషాలు వస్తాయి.
వీడియో ఓకేనా సార్? వీడియో రావడం వస్తున్నట్లేదు, ఓన్లీ ఆడియో.
మీకు ఇంకో నంబర్ పెంచాను చూడండి.
ఎస్ సార్.
మొబైల్ కూడా, మొబైల్ ల్యాప్టాప్ ఫ్రెండ్.
అది కాదు,
డబుల్.
బ్రహ్మారెడ్డి ఫ్రెండా?
ఒకటి వితౌట్ డిజిగ్నేషన్, ఒకటి విత్ డిజిగ్నేషన్. కాదు, ఈ స్నాక్స్ పంపించాలా ఆన్లైన్ లో?
ఓకే సార్, అరేంజ్ చేద్దాం సార్ నెక్స్ట్ టైం కు.
సార్ ఈ స్నాక్స్ అయితే చాలా వెరైటీస్ పంపించచ్చు సార్, మంచిగా.
అవును, కంటిన్యూగా పంపిస్తుండొచ్చు మేడం. ఫర్ ఎవ్రీ 10 minutes 1 different snack. బ్రహ్మారెడ్డి గారు ఈ స్నాక్ అని ఎక్కడికి వెళ్ళిపోయారు?
ఈ స్నాక్ గా పోయిండొచ్చు అని తిన్నింకే.
అదే సార్. సీతారాం బాబు గారు స్టార్ట్ చేద్దామా? జాయిన్ అవుతారు నిదానంగా.
కరెక్ట్ గా 7 అయింది సార్. ఒక్క 5 minutes టైం ఇద్దాం. 7:05 స్టార్ట్ చేద్దాం.
ఓకే సార్.
We'll start at 7:05.
ఓకే.
అయితే జనరల్ గా ఎవ్రీ అకేషన్ కి స్టార్ట్ ఉంటుందా సార్ మీకు? ఎనీ ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్ డే కానీ, రోడ్ సేఫ్టీ డే, అట్లాగా అన్నిట్లోనే ఈవెంట్స్ చేస్తుంటారా?
చేస్తుంటాం సార్. మేము యావరేజ్ 4 days కి ఒక ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఉంటుంది సార్.
గ్రేట్ సార్.
ఈ రోజు ఇంజనీర్స్ డే సార్, వరల్డ్ ఇంజనీర్స్ డే.
అచ్చా, వరల్డ్ ఇంజనీర్స్ డే. మాకేమో ప్యారల్ గా నేషనల్ లెవెల్లో నేషనల్ సేఫ్టీ డే. సో రెండు కూడా మేము అబ్జర్వ్ చేస్తున్నాము. సో ఫస్ట్ ఆ ప్రోగ్రామ్ పెట్టాము, తర్వాత మీ ప్రోగ్రామ్ సార్. సో ఇలా 1 by 1 ఏ ఒక ప్రోగ్రామ్ సార్. స్టాట్యూటరీ డేస్ అంటాము. స్టాండర్డ్ వరల్డ్ ఇది స్టాండర్డ్స్ డే ఉంటుంది. ఓకే
తర్వాత వాటర్ డే ఉంటుంది.
ఓకే
ఇట్లా డిఫరెంట్ దాదాపు అరౌండ్ 20 స్టాట్యుటరీ డేస్ ఉన్నాయి సార్. తర్వాత ఒక 20 ఎండోమెంట్ లెక్చర్స్ ఉంటాయి.
ఓకే సార్. ఎండోమెంట్ లెక్చర్స్
different-
అంటే జనరలైజ్డ్ థింగ్ సార్, పర్సనాలిటీ
అంటే ఆ పర్సన్ సార్, ఆ పర్సన్ ఏ బ్రాంచ్ కి సంబంధించిన వాళ్ళైతే ఆ ఫీల్డ్ లో అన్నమాట. సపోజ్ ఒక 2 days లో పురుషోత్తం గారి ఎండోమెంట్ లెక్చర్ ఉంది. హీ వాజ్ ది రిటైర్డ్ చీఫ్ ఇంజనీర్ ఫ్రమ్ ఇరిగేషన్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్.
ఓకే ఓకే
So now we'll take one expert from the irrigation department and go for the endowment lecture.
ఎండోమెంట్ లెక్చర్. ఓకే
Yes, sir. And in addition to them, we are conducting 1-day seminars, 2-day seminars, and workshops.
ఓకే ఓకే
These programs will also be there. International conferences
ఓకే
and engineering congress,
అచ్చా ఓకే సార్.
like this different programs for the benefit of the engineers.
ఇంజనీర్స్ ఓకే గుడ్ సార్. జనరలైజ్డ్ గుడ్ అండ్ అందరికి ఆల్ ఆస్పెక్ట్స్ కవర్ అవుతాయి.
Yes, yes, sir. Good evening, Anchuri garu.
సార్ శశికుమార్ సార్ది వీడియో ఆన్ అవ్వట్లేదా సార్?
వీడియో రావడం లేదు మేడం.
లేదు సార్.
గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్ అండి.
Good evening, sir.
నేను ఇక్కడ ఆన్ చేశాను మేడం.
చేశారా సార్? మీ ఆడియో వస్తుంది, వీడియో
ఆన్ చేశాను.
ఆడియో రావడం లేదు సార్ శశికుమార్ గారు.
ఆడియో రావడం లేదు సార్.
ఆడియో వస్తుంది సార్, వీడియో రావడం లేదు.
వీడియో రావడం లేదా? ఓకే సార్. ఓకే సార్. సెట్టింగ్స్ లో వెళ్తాను.
సార్ సీతారాం బాబు గారు స్టార్ట్ చేద్దామా?
Okay, sir. Okay. Sir, thank you very much, respected Sri B.B. Garu, he is the Deputy Chief Inspector of Factories, for having accepted our invitation, sir, and to deliver a lecture on ECG in the context of OSG. This is basically a statutory day for Institute of Engineers, the National Safety Day. I should thank the respected Chairman of the Institute of Engineers, Dr. G. Venkat Subbaiah Garu, and the convener of the event, Engineer Dr. Rama Garu, for having made it a reality, sir. So basically, I should also thank the past chairman, Brahma Reddy Garu, Dr. Rameshwar Rao Garu, and Professor Dr. Ramana Naik Garu. And to be very honest with you, sir, we also conducted one event sometime before, sir, just half an hour before, on the theme World's Engineering Day for Sustainable Development. So a lot of activities, as the chairman has said, sir. I request also all the corporate members, live members, for having part of this event. I request the chairman, Dr. G. Venkat Subbaiah Garu, to preside over the event.
Thank you, sir. Dr. K. Sitaram Babu garu. Respected keynote speaker, Sri V.V. Shashikumar, Deputy Chief Inspector of Factories, Hyderabad. Dr. K. Sitaram Babu, FIE, Honorary Secretary, IA, Telangana State Center. Engineer D. Rama, Joint Honorary Secretary of IA, Telangana State Center and convener of the event. Engineer B. Brahma Reddy, immediate past chairman. Professor Dr. Ramna Nayak, past chairman and committee member of Telangana State Center. Dr. G. Rameswarrao, past chairman and director SP Anchuri Garu, K. Satish Garu, Ramesh Garu, Kusumalata Garu, and all the invitees. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening to all of you. Today, I feel it is a great privilege and honor to be amidst this august gathering and extend a warm and hearty welcome to the keynote speaker and all of you to this webinar on National Science Day. Today, I am very happy to be associated with this memorable event. I wish to inform that the Institution of Engineers India, Telangana State Center, organizing National Safety Day today, that is 4th March 2024. National Safety Day is celebrated every year to mark the foundation of the National Safety Council. The first National Safety Day campaign was launched in the year 1972 by National Safety Council. The National Safety Day celebrated on 4th March every year to spread awareness about the safety measures to prevent disadvantages and accidents due to lack of awareness. The National Safety Day intends to generate, develop, and sustain a voluntary movement on safety, health, and environment at the national level. Everybody has to apply all the safety measures while traveling in a vehicle and always follow the traffic rules. Accidents and diseases are the drain to our economy, which leads to disablement, deaths, harm to health, and prosperity. We should not learn from accidents, understand the importance of safety by observing safety rules, regulations, and should develop an attitude to achieve our objectives. Safety is a common denominator across all aspects of life. Hence, knowledge should always be shared. It is not a matter for industry, it is a matter for humanity. So, safety starts with us. Really, and let us do all the viable things to prevent accidents and occupational diseases and to protect the environment in the interest of self, family, organization, and the nation at a large. So I know that all of you are anxiously awaiting to hear the talk from our keynote speaker. I am limiting myself and hope that you will really enjoy the talk. On behalf of the Telangana State Center of IEI and on my own behalf, I once again extend a hearty welcome to the keynote speaker, Sri V.V. Seskumar, Deputy Chief Inspector of Factories, Hyderabad, and all of you to this important event. So before I request Sri V.V. Seskumar Garu, I request Engineer D. Rama, convener of the event, to introduce the keynote speaker, Sri V.V. Seskumar Garu. So thank you one and all. Madam?
Thank you, sir.
Okay, madam.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, one and all. It's my pleasure to introduce Sri V.V. Seskumar, sir, Deputy Chief Inspector of Factories, on this National Safety Day. Sir is working in the inspectorate for the last 3 decades. Sir is also Honorary Secretary for the National Safety Council, TS chapter. Now I will welcome Seskumar, sir, to give lecture on the theme ESG in the context of OSH. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam. Once again, I take a opportunity to thank Dr. G. Venkat Subbay Garu and Dr. Sitaram Garu and Madam Rama Madam for inviting me to share some thoughts on this auspicious day of National Safety Day of March 4th. It is 53rd National Safety Day. I have some small presentation. Can I share it so that participants can be benefited with that? Is it
Okay, sir. Sure, sir.
Huh?
Sure, sir. You can share.
Okay, it is visible now, no?
Yes, sir. Now it is visible, sir. Come to presentation mode, sir.
It's okay now?
Yes, sir.
Today is 53rd National Safety Day.
Sir, no audio, sir. Sir, no audio. మేడం రమా మేడం మీకు వినపడుతుందా?
సార్ ఒకసారి లాగ్ ఆఫ్ అయ్యి లాగిన్ అవ్వమనండి సార్.
ఓకే సార్, ఒకసారి లాగ్ ఆఫ్ అయ్యి మళ్ళీ లాగిన్ కండి సార్. దెర్ ఇస్ నో ఆడియో ఫ్రమ్ యువర్ సైడ్.
Due to network issue, I disconnected from the main stream.
Yes, sir. So you disconnect and connect, sir.
Again,
and there is no problem.
Sir, can you allow me for screen sharing? It is giving
రత్నం గారు.
సార్ షేర్ చేస్తున్నారు సార్.
Okay, no, sir. Now it is visible, no? So presentation.
Yes, sir. It is visible.
Visible, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. This basically March 4th is coined as a National Safety Day to commemorate or to celebrate these safety events and to spread the message among all the stakeholders, mostly related to industries or establishments and other things. Safety is everybody concerned and everybody needs safety. Even who will be walking on the pedestrian over the road safety is also an important factor. So it is a part and parcel of our everyday life. So safety it's a sort of a on this day, March 4th, the National Safety Council Mumbai is called is sort of a campaign or some sort of a celebrations in the factories, taking the sufferings of the past human beings and employees into account and to prevent reoccurrence of such incidents and thereby spreading some sort of a cautionary message at the workplaces. So whatever these celebrations with a thought that it will be ringing or it will be clinching upon the memories of the employees, so that throughout the year it will revibrate, so that they will be in a safe mode or safe manner while executing the works or tasks. So am I audible now, sir? Okay, no, sir? Hello? Hello?
Sir,
Yes, sir, audible, sir. Sir, we are audible, sir.
Okay,
sir,
thank
no
you.
problem.
Thank you, madam. So here, this time, the National Safety Council Mumbai has given a call related to ESG. ESG means environmental social governance, and through there is a correlation or relation between environmental social governance with related to occupational safety and health. That is why I took the title as a ESG in the context of OSG, occupational safety and health. So ESG means basically ESG. This word has arrived way back. If you go in the year 1970s, there are charter of human United Nations resolution passed related to sustainable development. And later onwards, from 1970 to 2005, there are a lot of things are happened, but not noticeable things to catch up on the nations. Next is the 2015, there's a Kyoto Protocol is started, and through the Kyoto Protocol, then whatever will be global warming and discarding the substances which is creating a global warming and ozone hole, other things, those concepts has arisen. Then again, latest developments are that is there is a fixed temperature warming 1.5 degrees centigrade. We have to cap the rise of the temperature of global warming. Otherwise, if it reaches to 2 degrees centigrade rise of temperature, then there's a lot of catastrophic disasters will took place. That's what these climatologists, scientists, they have cautioned the similar thinking of people or entire global persons or whoever will be similar views and whoever will be interested in that global warming concepts. Next, if you take into account out of these sustainable development goals, there are 17 sustainable development goals are there, and out of these 17 sustainable development goals raised by the UN Charter, the 8th goal is related to occupational and health and safety. 8th goal. So related to this 8th goal, there are again 10 objectives are there. Same thing. So 17 sustainable development goals. And goal number 18 is calling upon for achieving the sustainable development. And goal number 8 of the SDG, Sustainable Development Growth, is having 10 objectives. Out of these 10 objectives, objective number 8.4, 8.5, 8.6, 8.7, 8.8 are related to ESG governance. That is environmental social governance. That means environmental social governance is having 3 pillars. One is related to environment, our climate and environment concept. Social concepts. Unless the sustainability development goals, not only talking about this environmental aspects like global warming and other things, it also touched upon overall development of a human being across the globe. That also prescribed how to achieve these overall development. Then once any nation has satisfied these 20 goals, sustainable development goals, then automatically they are above the threshold limit of the development. So out of this 8.4, I will touch upon the objectives of the goal number 8, improving progressively by the year 2030, global. This is global resistance. Global efficiency in consumption and production and endeavor to decouple the economic growth from the environmental degradations. So environmental friendly technologies one has to adapt for sustainable, for achieving these sustainable development goals. And again, goal number 8.5, this is full and productive employment and decent work for all women and men, including for young people and persons with disabilities, in equal pay for equal value. So decent work. Under the objective 8.5, they have coined decent work for both men and women, both the genders, and including young people. Young people means there are certain nations, even young people are also allowed for employment. In India, there is a Harshad Mehta's Supreme Court judgment is there. First, there is a regulation below 14 years of children employment in certain hazardous occupations and hazardous process. And later onwards, that court has given 10 years of time by that Harshad Mehta's judgment, and the 10 years also over. Now again, still it is extracted, and now it is banned the employment for the coming years. Even hazardous process also. Hazardous, not only 14 years, these young people. Under the Indian Factories Act, young people means whoever will be below the 18 years. Below the 18 years and above the 14 years. Running 15, running 16, running 17, and running 18 years are called as a young people. So for that also some regulations are there to work inside the factories or establishments. And persons with disabilities, they have certain privileges, disabilities people also, and equal pay for equal value. And for a similar work, there should not be any discrimination against the men and women while performing any employment related works. That is the objective number 8.5 stipulates. Next, if you take 8.6, by 2020, sustainably reduce the proportion of youth not in employment, but they should be in education, or you have to give important training to those people. That means youth, children below the 18 years, they should be either in the schools or colleges, but not in any occupation or work. And there is a right to compulsory education. That act is also passed. Under that act, below the 18 years people should not be should not be available at the employment positions. That's what that goal by 2020 8.6 objective stipulates, and we are almost nearer to that. And 8.7 stipulates eradicate forced labor. Forced labor means in certain areas there is some sort of a concept is there that they will pay in advance. So 20,000 or 30,000 or 50,000 they will pay, and they will engage that particular employee, men or women worker, to continuously work without any working hours, without any regulations. There is no daily wages, there is no monthly wages, only advance payment. That sort of labor is called forced labor. And modern slavery and human trafficking, and prohibition and elimination of worst forms of child labor, and including recruitment, use of child soldiers. That is not in our nation, in our country, but globally they are touching upon that particular thing. And by 2025, there should be end of child labor in all its forms. That is one of the 8.7 objective stipulates. Then 8.8 protect labor rights and promote safe and secure working environments for all the workers, including migrant workers, in particular women migrants and those in precarious employment. Here, objective number 8.8 of the Sustainable Development Goal prescribes safe work at workplaces, and security is also required, because there is a women employment is there, whoever will be engaged in the night shifts. For them, not only safety is there at the factory side, but security is also required for picking up them from the respective houses or from the villages to the respective workplaces. Some transportation arrangement with security guard and some sort of a security arrangements. Even inside the factories also security arrangements are required, like having some surveillance cameras. Even migrant workers also. Migrant workers, their employment is not of a continuous in nature, not a perennial in nature. Suppose in a year they will come from the outside the state, and they will work here. They come along with the families, children, kids. They will stay nearer to the factories or industries. They will continuously engage in the for employment, and for a couple of months they will go back to their respective home places and spend there. These are the people called as migrant workers. Next, basically, under the ESG goal, environment, social governance. Social governance will stipulate this decent work. Environment is purely environment and global warming and other things. But this occupational safety and health, OSH, is supporting the pillar of social governance, which will supporting the ESG. So the decent work is nothing but once if you take a occupation safety and health measures at the workplaces, creating a safe environment that creates a decent work, doing the job decently, having a decent regulating working hours and other things. And even analytics, data analytics also shows that there is a direct link between the productivity levels at the work environment and the general health and well-being at the workforces. If you create a decent work, then automatically productivity will be uplifted. Both are directly proportional. Decent work, decent productivity, and also it will improve. The main issues at the workplaces are due to lack of commitment to the needs of the workers. Workers will have so many issues. So their issues has to be resolved, tiny issues, simple issues. Those issues are resolved within the framework of the statute or laws. Then automatically you will be creating a decent work. So these are the aspects of the main sub-objectives of the decent work. Next, I will speak about certain important safety statutes. The important oldest act is Indian Factories Act. Indian Factories Act is conceived during the part of the 1987 Industrial Revolution. There is in the Europe countries a textile revolution. Something is there. 1857 Industrial Revolution started, and now we are in the 4G revolution. So from there itself, a Factories Act was there, and it is regulating basically first time for especially textile factories in the at the erstwhile Bombay state. It is regulating the working hours. And next development is regulating the child labor in the textile and garment industries. Like that, it was taken a number of sea changes. The act also developed and evolved during the period of time. Now, drastic changes taken place during the year 1987 after the Bhopal gas tragedy. Next, if you take another one is similarly the Indian Factories Act, Indian Boilers Act also there. And another one is the safety legislation, manufacturing, storage, import of other chemicals rules, 1918. These rules are enacted under the sub-rules of the Environmental Protection Act. And in the Indian Explosives Act, it will stipulate how to handle safely to handle the explosives at the workplaces or industries, and what are the permissions to be obtained, other things. And Indian Petroleum Act. Indian Petroleum Act is also Safety Act for storing safe storage of the POL products. That means petrol, petroleum products like motor spirit or high-speed diesel and gasoline or LPG and other things. It will cover what are the safety issues and what are the permissions to be obtained from the designated authorities before establishing the Indian any establishment or factories handling the petroleum substances. Next, BOCW, Building and Other Construction Workers Act. It is a recent act, not recent act, is already a decade is passed, and it will exclusively take care of the safety, health, and welfare of the workers who are engaged in the construction activities. Similarly, Payment of Wages Act is there, and for the benefit of the women employees who will be carrying in a stage, for them, what are the benefits to be given by the owner or employer to the woman employee, that like the maternity benefit leave, paid leave for 6 months, or now it is enhanced, and provision of the creche facility at the factories for the and nursing the child. Some time has to be given for feeding the child. Like that, some benefits are stipulated in the Maternity Benefit Act. Next one is the CPR Act, that is the Child Labor Prohibition and Regulation Act, and Boilers Act, and Environmental Protection Act. Another one is Fire Safety Regulations. These are the establishments and factories. What are the fire safety to be incorporated? What are the safety precautions to be taken or to be adopted? What are the prior permissions to be taken in case of a factories or establishments being dealt by the fire safety regulations? Next, Indian Electricity Act. Indian Electricity Act, generation, transmission, and distribution, all of you know. And what are the safety precautions to be taken under these processes? And next one is a Contract Worker Abolition and Regulation Act. These are all the safety legislations. I just given a certain examples to create some sensitization related to safety. Next one, the Factories Act, because I belong to the Factories Department, occupational safety and health, what are the provisions are covered under the Indian Factories Act. Indian Factories Act mainly under the headings of the Chapter 3, that is Health Chapter, and Chapter 4, Exclusively Safety Chapter, and Chapter 5, Welfare Chapter, and some certain special provisions are there under Chapter 9, and under Chapter 11 is Supplement, and Chapter 4A is the hazardous provisions. Chapter 4A was enacted after the Bhopal gas tragedy, taking into effect of the destructions caused during the leak of the methyl isocyanate from the Bhopal gas disaster leak, and how panic and trauma created at the Bhopal, and based on that lessons learned, certain provisions, important provisions are created. And next, whatever the guidelines periodically issued by the ILO, or even our director of factories can give some administrative orders or sanctions in the interest of the safety, health, and welfare of the employees. Next, Factories Act, certain provisions important. These are the main provisions: safety, health, and welfare. And if you take in the factories, wherever hazardous process is being carried out, hazardous process means which is creating a any major accident or any leak or any other thing causes not only emergency inside the factory premises, but also outside the factory premises also, if it will affect. Say, similarly, if you take Bhopal gas tragedy, actually that methyl isocyanate got leaked inside the factory, but it has spreaded along the work environment, and it has created a toxic environment, a toxic atmosphere for the entire Bhopal gas city, causing thousands of injuries and thousands of fatalities. So for that, those factories which are engaging, they have some policy related to accident prevention and what are the safety measures, health measures to be taken care of. The policy is the main thing. Policy is it's some sort of a how the Factories Act is our department is enforcing, and the policy is in respect to industries. They have to adopt this health and safety policy, and they have to show some commitment towards employed workers. There are certain ingredients are there. What is the policy contains to be the policy to be effective for implementing the safety, health, welfare provisions. Next, safety provisions. Whatever the section 29 under the chapter safety stipulates, all the lifting machines, cranes, and lifting hooks, and they have to be tested periodically, annually, by the competent person who are licensed by the factories department. Next, whatever the pressure vessels, any vessel which is subjected to beyond atmospheric pressure, its working condition has to be monitored annual basis or half yearly basis, and it's a fit for usage. That certificate has to be given by the authorized person under the Act, competent person who is to call. Next, regarding flooring, floorings and all the pits and sumps are to be covered. And where will be the crane operators, forklift truck drivers, they have to be undergo ophthalmological test, eye examination, and section 38 stipulates fire safety, and section 41 rule 61B stipulates electrical safety. Similarly, in the hazardous factories, where the hazardous substances are being carried out, and process is being carried out, they have to engage a safety committee. And more than 1,000 workers are there in those factories, but safety officer has to be appointed. And even in hazardous process factories also, based on the director of factories give a notification, even less than 1,000 workers are there, they have to engage a safety officer. And section 41 rule 61 stipulates inside the factories, as the process demands, suitable personal protective equipment has to be provided by the management or from the occupier or factory owner to wear by the workers, like a safety shoe, safety helmet, and safety welding goggles, nose masks. These are certain basic issues. Next, to work inside the confined space or working at height, under Rule 61F3, work permits has to be given. And Section 7-2C stipulates all the employees are to be periodically trained, including contractor workforce, whatever the jobs they are handling related to safety aspects. And if it is in a process, what are the standard operating procedures? What are the PPE to be worn to suit the particular process? And inside the factories also, how to regulate the traffic. There will be lot of vehicle movements are there. How to train the drivers to have a defensive training techniques. And Section 41 Rule 61 stipulates building structural stability. And if there is any building is there in a precarious condition where there are structure is unstable or there are shearing crack propagations, RCC got exposed, and which is in a condition of a collapsible condition, then based on orders given by the authorities, they have to produce a building structural stability, that the building is fit for usage, and also if there is any repairs are required, they have to carry out the repairs, say that the building should be finally ultimately in the sound structurally stable condition. And parallelly also any dampened, unresisted vibrations caused by the machinery also properly taken care of, and these vibrations should not create any further escalated repercussions over the structures, columns, and beams and other things. These are all being certified by the civil engineer, who is a qualified structural engineer, authorized by the department, calling him as a competent person. Periodically, he has to produce a structural stability buildings of the factories. Next one is health provision. If it comes to the health, and there is an occupation health, more than 500 workers are there, they have to provide a ambulance room or dispensary. And in case of a hazardous process, occupation health center is to be provided for every and one occupation health doctor is also required for more than 200 workers are employed in the hazardous process, and periodical medical examination are also required. And even in case of there is a Honorable Supreme Court judgment, K.S. Radhakrishnan versus A.S. Sikri, where this was done in the case of a power plants applied by the a bill was filed in the Honorable Supreme Court seeking directions of the court. There is a undecent working conditions are prevailed at the coal crushers or coal plants of the thermal power plants. Then the Honorable Court has formed a committee, and the committee gone around all the thermal power plants of coal crushers, and it has made certain recommendations, and it has given directions to the states for implementing those projects. So Honorable Courts also occasionally intervening for passing strictures for implementing of certain safety provisions. And all the medical records in the hazardous process also has to be preserved for a period of 2 years. Pre-employment medical examination also has to be carried out, and periodical medical examination of the employees, workers who are working in the hazardous process also has to be carried out. And under the Factories Act, there are 3 schedules are there. First schedule, there is a listed process is there, like foundry process, steel industries, and thermal power generation, and chemicals, tanning industry, or any crushing stone, some like that. And hazardous processes are listed under the first schedule. And second schedule, whatever the permissible levels are there inside the work environment, and that also listed. And there are notifiable diseases, occupational disease also listed under the third schedule, like silicosis, and due to continuous exposure to noise levels, there is an irreversible damage to the hearing issues for the employees. Periodical medical examination, hearing to be carried out, and whenever any symptoms are appearing that he is under the zone of losing of that hearing, then he immediately has to pull out from that particular job area, and he has to be rotated in the less noise zone areas. Something like that rehabilitation has to be carried out. And every factory should have a toilets accommodation and washing facilities, separate toilet accommodation for men and women, and also wherever women employees are there, more than 30, creche facility has to be provided. And where the more than 500 workers are there, one labor welfare officer also has to be employed. And for certain industries, they have to be provided lockers also, like pharma and other engineering industries, chemical industries, somewhere like that. This is the welfare. Next. The welfare officer. The role of the welfare officer, he has to take care of the well-being of the labor, and he has to act as a bridge between the worker and the management, and he should not involve any disciplinary cases visibly working against the employees. Next, there is a woman employment. Engaging women employment in the night shift, there is judgments are there. Even our AP High Court also, in the case of a Triveni case versus Union of India, and Tamil Nadu judgment is a landmark judgment. First is was created Vasanta R versus Union of India, and Tamil Nadu High Court judgment related to women employment beyond 10 p.m. It has passed certain guidelines. It has issued certain guidelines which was not there in the act. And the only thing was there in the act is to engage the women employees after 10 p.m. They have to apply the permission like that. But here the High Court has passed certain guidelines, like they have to provide a safety, security, transportation arrangement, and they have to take a consent of the women employees. Their consent has to be obtained. If a woman is not interested to work in the night shift, she should not be engaged. Separate restroom, canteen, medical surveillance, separate women supervisor has to be engaged, employed parallel in the night shifts to take care of well-being and security of the women employees. So many guidelines it has passed, and they have to follow these guidelines. And the next one is, if you take the Maternity Benefit Act. So the Maternity Benefit Act it's also Old Act 1961. It was enacted. Even under the Constitution, Article 3942, Directive Principle of State Policy prescribes women safety, women security, and women and children should not be employed in certain hazardous occupations which are detrimental to their health and unborn child or fetus. And these are the certain constitutional guarantees, and the constitutional guarantees given to the women employees are enacted or incorporated even in the Factories Act also. In fact, in the Maternity Benefit Act, in the form of a Maternity Benefit Act. In the factories, the Maternity Benefit Act is being enforced, and that maternity benefit also has to be given paid leave, and that leave was enhanced from 12 weeks to 26 weeks by the amendment, and for the two, and also nursing breaks also has to be given. Next, certain emergency provisions are there in the Factories Act. Wherever the hazardous processes are there, they have some plan is required, emergency plan. Like if you take, in case of a dam, whatever the dam safety, if there's anything untoward emergency was created in a dam or generating station, they should have a plan. So similar to that, and that plan will list out the risks, and it will also list out the how to take care of the risks, how to escape if the risk got manifested for causing the disaster. And fire protection is required, and fire drills also to be conducted, emergency planning drills also to be conducted, and certain factories they have to go for a fire hydrant line also. Certain factories, something got prescribed here. Next, if you take audits, periodical audits are required in the factories, engaging more than certain 1,000 workers and other thing. And these mandatories will act as a lubricant for achieving the statutory compliances. The auditor will come, third party, and he will guide you. He will guide the management. These are to be done. These are to be done. These are safety to be complied. Because the managements who are engaged there daily, they are watching whatever the unsafe conditions which are detrimental to the health of the employees, or in a certain positions cause a injury to the workers. So if a third party will come and observe certain things, he will correctly guide the management or a work, occupier or a owner to take care of those risks and to curb those risks at the initial stage itself before manifesting into a risk of causing injuries, accidents, or disasters. Certain case studies. So whatever the injuries or accidents, because this is we are doing March 4th, and under the occupational safety and health, under environmental social governance, and under the pillar of the social occupation safety and health, one of the aspects is injury prevention or accident prevention at the workplaces. So once if you comply whatever the statutory provisions are there under the Factories Act, then automatically these things will be reduced. So only the law will give only guidelines. You have to enforce the thing beyond the law. Law will say minimum thing. It will only guide so and so directions. It won't take into each and every aspect because even though law is a dynamic, it is changing a particular scenario to scenario, but certain aspects they have to take care of about the law, and law is also strategy also competing with the change of technologies and other thing, and it is also modified periodically to take care of unforeseen risks also under the act by amending or by creating new rules, new laws, and other things. So if you take a statistics, I am talking about cement plant statistics. The risks are associated with the cement plant fall from height. If any people are working at height, if they don't wear safety belts, there is a risk of causing slipping from that particular height. Transportation has a lot of vehicle movements will be there in the cement plants, and trucks, cement loaded trucks are there, and there is a chance of hitting the persons who are engaged there inside the plant. And cement process, there is a limestone in the main element. It will be added with the fly ash, gypsum, certain iron powder, certain additive, certain elements are there, which will be preheated and fired inside the cement kiln to a temperature of 1400 degrees centigrade and nearly 1200 to 14, and to form the clinker. And the clinker will be cooled, and the clinker will be grinded with certain additives and to generate the cement. And cement will be packed and it will be transported to the respective marketing places and destination. So during this entire length of the process, so many risks are there, and the kiln, the hard clinker, if it is splashes, it is causing burn injuries. There is a lot of material handling conveyors are there inside the cement plant that is causing also injuries. Then a lot of crushers are there, pulverizers are there, because the limestone is getting from the mines. It has to be crushed to the required standard pulverizing level, and during that process also a lot of accidents will take place. And electrocution, because high energy equipments are there, and 11 kV drives, 440 volts drives are there. There is a charges. If you don't take a proper precaution, there is charges. There is a chance of risk of electrocution also. So if you take statistics, lot of in the cement plants, metal handling causes 22% injuries, slips and falls causes 17%, and fall from height 17%, and striking against object fall. If you don't wear any helmet, something will fall from height, it will cause an injury, and hitting by the vehicles and other causes, unknown thing are 27%. These are the breakup of the injuries, causing injury based on the causative factor. And this is the data and analyzed. Same thing what we have seen. No, the highest thing is others is 27, and other one is handling, material handling causing 22%, and 17 is slips and falls, falling from height 17%. Like that, there is a data analytics are there. And if you take the insights from these areas, say this frequency of the incidents causing the injuries versus total number of shift hours, 24 shift hours. A shift if you take 6 to 2, B shift if you take 2 to 10, and C shift if you take 10 o'clock to morning 6 o'clock. That was taken into a railway timing timetable sort of a thing in the x-axis, and the y-axis is the frequency of the injury or incident was taken. If you take at morning 7 o'clock, the frequency is high, that is touching about 0.5 frequencies. Injury rate, 0.5 frequency of the incident is there. And if you take again 11 o'clock, 0.2 frequency is there. And if you take 3 o'clock B shift, 0.2 frequency is there. Again 0.2 frequency in the B shift. And again night shift, if you take 0.1 frequency incidents are causing. And in the morning, early morning 6 o'clock, evening 6 o'clock also 0.1 frequency is there. So mostly here, if you take the frequency versus the working hours, the starting of the shift, one should be cautious, because hurry, they will go to the workplace. What has happened in the previous shift, not taking proper inputs from the succeeding worker, and that is a cause of causing, and certain unsafe conditions are there, not properly taking care of those things. It is a generating certain risk factor. And also morning also 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock morning hours, and at the end of the shift, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, first shift will stop, and 12 to 3 again also risk prone. So you have to take care of these things, working hours by the risk criteria, and you should be a little bit alert in those working hours. Then automatically these risks will be curbed. Next, if you take in the cement plant, the frequency was taken in the vertical y-axis in the right hand, and what are the causes, equipment caused for the injury was taken on the left-hand y-axis. We had mapped these causes of the equipments versus the frequency of the incidents. If you take highest is the 0.5 frequency. 0.5 frequency is a meeting with the molten or hot substances in the kiln. At the kiln, if it is splashes over the board or the persons working there, and the persons, then there is a burn injuries, risk of burn injuries. So that is the highest frequency of the incident. And if you take 0.2 frequency of the incidents, that is causing due to bursting of the pressure vessels and conveyor belts, something like that. This was the mapping was done. Equipments versus the frequency rate. Next, if you take the plot for the box-wise plot, if you take, and first one is the day. Day starts with the injuries are spreaded from morning 8 to next day 6 o'clock. Mean injuries are stationed at 18 hours of the day. 18 hours of the day mean was positioned, and morning 8 to 24 the injuries are spreaded. If you take hours of the incident, morning 7 o'clock, 7 hours 40 minutes. That is means just starting of the shift to the second shift ending, or starting of the second shift or ending of the first shift, 3 o'clock. These injuries are spreaded. If you take age-wise also, the age group of the people who are engaged in the employment from 24 years to 41 years are more prone for risks, more prone for injuries. So these people has to be trained, retrained periodically to make them aware related to risks at the workplaces, and they have to take care of the uncurbed risks by properly wearing the personal protective equipments like safety shoe, helmets, and other things. Next one, if you take a total incidents frequencies, mostly the incidents are the mean incident is 0.1. That implies there is a certainty is there in a year, one or other incidents are bound to take place. And peak incidents are frequency of incidents placed at 0.5. That maximum incidents are 0.5 in a year. So these are the variations of the incidents. And if you take analytics of the incidents, if you take most of the incidents are due to hard substance, burn injuries. Next, falling into silos and bins. Next, conveyor belt accidents. And the next one is electrical shock. Next one is falling from height. And like that, these are mapping was done, heat map was done based on the equipment causing the injuries. Next, age versus frequencies. If you take, as I told you, the age falling from the 30 years are the highest frequency of 0.30. Young persons are fresh employees. They have to be taken care of for training and other things. And the injuries frequency are distributed from the age of 37 to age of 55 years. It is distributed sporadically. Next one is contractor safety management. Most of these working things are unskilled jobs are held by the contract labor. The problem with the contract labor, there are also migrant laborers, and the person who comes today, tomorrow you won't come. Once if you train one person, there is no guarantee that he will work for 6 months or something. Again, so people should be very cautious. The owners should be very cautious. The management should be very cautious in taking care of these unskilled people, so engaging at the skilled jobs. They have to be given proper safety inputs before engaging in the skilled jobs. Next, some caption. So injuries or risks are preventable. So achieving the occupational safety and health goals is also it is if you take all these things, it is a smooth proven track for achieving those goals. And for achieving the sustainable goals under the social pillar, If you take injury rates, if you minimize the injury rates, it is an easy fact. So what gets identified is gets improved. You have to identify the risks, whatever there inside the plant. Then you can take the remedial measures, precautionary measures, steps can be taken to correct those risks. That was dealt by the Peter Drucker. Next one is ignorance. Ignorance is equal to hazard by what I know about it. So if you apply this thing for in the case of a unskilled labor, contract labor, migrant worker, what I know about it. If I don't know zero about the risks associated with that and blindly I am going around the plant, then 1/0 is infinity. Your ignorance is infinity. You are bound to take a chance of accident. So these people continuously train, impart the knowledge about the risks, about the working conditions, about the standard operating procedure of the process, so that they can take care of the things. Once awareness is there, automatically most of the things can be taken care of. So we are running out of time, ensuring safe and healthy work now in a changing of climate. So now the climate has been changed. We are at the Sustainable Development Goals. The year is 2030, and for certain goals, already we crossed 2020. So there is a changing of climate and we are running out of time, but safety and health should be ensured at the workplaces for achieving the pillar of the social pillar underpinning the ESG. Next, summing up, statutory compliances, auditing will improve the safety, health, and working conditions of the plant. It creates a sense of security among the employees' well-being. They will feel confident at the workplaces. As a sequel, improves for the management productivity and profitability of the plant. Their balance sheet will go ahead, and besides driving the decent working conditions, which is the target projected by the even our ahead of our nation. Even states are also striving for achieving these sustainable development goals under the ESG pillar. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. Any queries from audience, please? From the participants?
No, sir.
No. Okay, sir, please.
Can I take back?
Yes, sir.
Sir, can we have a talk?
Hello? Yes, you can ask.
Yes, sir. Actually, this is regarding the parallel tone for the sir, what Shashikumar sir has told, that whatever the ESG, what most of the people have understood, it is not with the environment. Here, EHS, it is already defined, as well as the OSH is also defined. In that ESG, how that SDGs, total SDGs, how it got connected, that was clearly explained in 8.5. That's what correct, sir?
Yes, exactly. 8.5 clearly explained. And
yes.
The SDG goal 8 stipulates workers' well-being, decent work.
Yes, sir. Exactly. That decent work, how it got related. I am also having a doubt in that one. You are one of our mentor, because we are students of TEC Vidyasagar sir also. And
yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Every time we used to discuss about the factors at MSHC, explosives, petroleum, and the new one is also there in our latest discussion. That is the Building and Construction Act. That we will go ahead with this one, because it is a value-added thing where most of the incidents are happening in the construction area also. That is the highest peak hazard.
Yes, correct, sir. Correct.
Yes, sir. And very happy to see this one, the case studies about the women employment, health issues at the coal miners, and accidents in the cement industries. Especially you have given the statistics also, sir. That was very nice. And it is a very value added to us with the salient features of the Factories Act, what we need to go ahead. Yes, sir. It is a very detailed understanding for today's session, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Venkat sir, thank you, sir. Thanks for giving the opportunity, sir.
So we have to say thanks for you, sir. Your lecture is excellent lecture, sir. So simply today it is National Safety Day, but you have combined ESG with OSH and also with SDGs, sir. That is a great combination. I have related all of them. So it is not possible for everyone, sir. With your experience and intelligence, you have combined all of them, I think, sir. And you have very clearly explained different acts and particularly different chapters in Factories Act 1948 and Amendment Act 1987. And extensively, you covered the safety and also covered health, schedules, Maternity Benefit Act, emergency provisions, benefits of statutory safety audit, and for enlightening us with rich knowledge, you have taken the case studies where all these laws are enforced. And you also explained very well about the causes of accidents, breakup of accidents. And more interesting one from your talk is the presentation of the graphs, sir. That is, they are frequency versus time and parallel coordinate plots. And other graphs also have shown. They are very, very interesting and informative and very interesting graphs you have shown, sir. Thank you very much, sir. And I feel that we are very much fortunate to have you as the speaker on this important day, that is the National Safety Day, sir. Once again, I extend my heartfelt thanks for you, sir, for your acceptance, though you are very busy with the activities and the program at your office. And after that office, you have attended for our program, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, thank you, Venkat Subbay garu and Dr. Rama Madam garu and Sitaram garu for inviting me to share my opinions, because on this March 4th National Safety Day, it is my privilege on this occasion to share certain aspects related to workplace safety and decent work and ILO goals. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to all the Institute of Engineers office body.
Right. Thank you, sir. Now I request Honorary Secretary Dr. K. Sitaram Babu garu to propose vote of thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Chairman, sir, Venkat Subbay garu. I thank the respected keynote speaker, Sri V.V. Shashikumar garu. He is basically the deputy. I also thank past chairman Brahma Reddy garu. And also thank one of senior member Ramanujacharya garu and
Sir, Rambabu garu, you are not audible.
Audible. Immediately my internet has gone for a second, sir.
Now it is okay. Now it is okay, sir.
We all stand for national anthem, sir. Thank you.
Right, yes.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Jai Hind.
Right.
Sir, once again, thank you, Seskumar sir.
Thank you, Dr. Venkatesubray garu.
So I will be in touch with you, sir. In
Please,
future also we will conduct programs like this.
please.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.